Hello, drumming fans. This is Scott Johnson. Today we're going to go over some issues with respect to the May internal drum miking system. That's probably why you chose to watch this video. You've either bought some internal mics that are exclusively endorsed by the DW Drum Company, called the May internal miking system, or you are thinking about making such a purchase. And I've been through both the purchase and installation of those microphones into two DW drum sets, or at least one, and I'm fixing to add them into the second drum set. My plan was, in this case, even at my age, I'm doing a lot of gigging, considering a local drummer playing in a cover band. Nothing out there in front of big audiences or anything, but I had the need to simplify my setup and carrying of drums to various gigs. And so I have two sets of drums. I have the DW Export Series, which you see right here behind me, inside this drum cage, located in my man cave here at home. It's a 5-piece kit. And you'll see over here is my other kit, my other DW kit, which is a DW Frequent Flyer kit, and it has the smaller drums and very downscale sized bass drum, and it's a 4-piece set. Right now I don't have the mounted tom in place. It's over there on my pool table right here behind me, as you can see, and we're going to go through installing a microphone on that in just a second. Take a look inside this box and see what the mounting plate looks like for the May miking system in just a basic tom-tom. In this case, you can see that everything comes in this little plastic bag, and you pull that out, and here's the mounting plate that goes inside the drum, and this is the air vent connector, so that you can attach this part to the outside of the drum and run this cable through the air vent hole to the inside of the drum, and then mount the microphone on this plate, plug these 3 wires into the back of the XLR plugs on the microphone, and this would be on the outside of the drum, allowing your sound man or yourself to plug in a basic XLR plug here and run it to whatever source you want to. I'm running it to a mixer. Also included inside are some straps and connectors and washers to go along with it, and instructions that on this particular version were a little bit inadequate in one regard. I emailed the May Miking Company and heard back from Randall May, the founder and inventor of the product, and he pointed out something to me that was very helpful, and that he said should have been in the instructions, and he's going to include in those instructions in the future. You may or may not have purchased a set that has them in the instructions, so I'll show you here. Anyway, the first step is to take off the drum head so that we can make the proper installation. And I'll do that first right now. Okay, now as you can see, I've taken the drum head off of this particular drum, which is the mounted tom on the Frequent Flyer kit. And the first step on the instruction is to run the cable for the air vent connector through the air vent hole. And if you try and do that, here's the air vent hole. You'll find very quickly that the cables will not fit through that hole. And you can fit them through one at a time, but they all have to go through, and it's impossible for them all to fit no matter what you try and do. It was very frustrating for me. In fact, on the other set, I actually used a drill a 5/8 inch drill bit to stick to the outside, and I used my electronic drill and spun it around and held the inside nut using a pair of pliers, and ultimately it managed to have enough pressure to unscrew this plate and this adapter. But what I learned from Randall May is that the inside of this hole, which you can't tell from out here, but inside of it is shaped, it has a hexagon shape. So it takes an Allen wrench, a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. And if you insert that through the hole and then use a ratchet wrench on the inside to hold the nut that's on the inside in place, well, it's very, very easy to tighten and loosen that bolt that's on the inside. You can see the bolt right there, and that bolt would always turn when I tried to take it off using any kind of a wrench. However, once I found the hex wrench in the right size, I'm able to do this. Using this ratchet wrench, and the whole mechanism comes right off. And in this case, I'm going to put the washer that was on the inside and the bolt that was on the inside back on and store that away for safekeeping. Now the system comes with 2 washers that go on the inside and the outside of this adapter. So I'm going to take it back out and slide the washer over these 3, slide the outside washer over those 3 wires that pass through the air vent, and then pass the 3 wires back through the air vent hole. Keep in mind that this XLR plug that fits snugly through the DW air hole has its own built-in air hole, so you don't lose the air hole. You merely create an environment in which you can have the air hole and an XLR input on the outside of the drums. On the inside then, I now get the other washer and pass it down the length of the wires and to the air vent connector on the inside. Then I use this wing nut that comes with it, pass the wires through the wing nut as well, and you have to do them one at a time, which is fairly easy to do. And then slide the wing nut down the length of the wires and screw it on to the plug that attaches to the XLR input that's on the outside of the drum. It's on there, it's nice and tight, and the next step is to attach the plate to the lug nut screws located around the inside of the drum. You can see it'll fit on there somewhere like that. First, I want to make sure that when I put my drum in on the mounting bracket, that the vent here is facing in a convenient direction so that the sound guy can plug into it. It's going to go on my, if I'm sitting behind the drums, it's going to go like this and face it. So I think I would rather have this facing towards the back, because I'm going to run it to my mixer that will then be, and out of that mixer will go to the soundboard. So it's going to sit like this, and I'm going to play it here in this position. So I want this facing backwards towards me, and I've got it turned that way, and now I'm going to tighten it up nice and snug. And you can see that looks very nice. There's no doesn't scratch or bother your drums at all. So I've now decided that what I'm going to do with this plate is attach it to this set of lug nut screws right here. That should put the plate somewhere in that vicinity, with a stand here holding the microphone that will go that way towards the batter head. And I merely need to get started unscrewing these and putting that on there. It's not any problem if it doesn't fit and I want to put it on a different one, but I don't want the microphone to be right on the batter head. I want that. This is a small drum, so it can be as far away as I can get it. For now, I'm going to use this handy little electric screwdriver, put it in reverse, and unscrew these plugs here to remove the lug nut receptacle on the outside, and the screws back to the lug receptacle, which is on the outside. There's barely enough room to do it. So you want to make sure there it is. That didn't take any time at all. You can see the screws are there holding the mounting plate. Then I'm going to get the microphone, or the attachment that holds the microphone, out of the other drums in order to put the microphones into this particular set. If I don't want to use a microphone, if I'm playing a gig, then I just leave the drum alone. I have this here, the wires. There are other mounting member plates and stuff that help make it more secure. I just kind of don't use those. And I'll show you how that works later. But up to this point, that's all that's involved in putting the mounting plate inside the drum. Catch you later.